And well, a very good morning to you. This sports bulletin is going to be focused on what SAFA believe will turn around the country's football. Last year, December, Dr Robin Petersen moved from his post as SAFA CEO to head up the SAFA Development Agency. The agency is tasked with implementing the technical master plan known as Vision 2022. The goal of the plan is to have all SAFA national teams ranked in the top 3 in Africa and the top 20 globally over the next 10 years. Yesterday, they announced their first commercial partner. We're now joined in studio by Dr Robin Petersen, CEO of SAFA's Development Agency. Thank you very much for joining us here in studio. How important was yesterday's announcement?
Yesterday's announcement was critical because we've been working for the last 9 months on resolving one of our biggest challenges, which is to raise the funding that we need to implement the plan. And yesterday's announcement with SASL coming on board, committing to us, is the first step of which I think will be many.
And the sponsorship is going to cover 2 of the 52 regions where you're going to be rolling out this technical master plan. Are you confident that you're going to be able to get sponsors for the other 50 regions?
I think we will most certainly. You know, there's a lot of companies who have large labour presence and labour sending areas, particularly in the mining sector, in some of the industrial and commercial manufacturing sector. And as I've been going around speaking to a number of those companies, they all are very interested in the plan because it has 2 things. It provides them taking part in a national program. I mean, who would not want to be part of producing winning national teams? It's such an important thing for the country. And to be able to look back and say, 10 years' time, we were there when that started. That national footprint is fantastic. But this plan has to be implemented in every one of our 341 local football associations. And so it's very easy to craft a local property, a local sponsorship, a local participation for a company. And we're looking for companies, not only large corporates, a small company who might say, you know what, we work in this particular community, we want to support the plan, we welcome those partnerships as well. So I think that once the ball starts rolling, as it indeed has as of yesterday, we're going to find many companies coming on board to sponsor and to be a small part or a big part of what is an incredibly important national project.
Okay, now we all know what the goal is of the technical master plan, but exactly what is the technical master plan? We hear about it all the time, and I know that it's very difficult just to put in a nutshell, but try to put it into a nutshell for us.
So it started when we lost, and often failure is your best teacher. In 2011, when I started in August, by December we had 3 major losses. We had not qualified for the AFCON in Equatorial Guinea, we hadn't qualified for the Olympics. Under 20s had been knocked out in the SAFA group stages. And so we realized there was a problem. In January 2012, we called together 200 experts. We said, that's our goal, top 3 in Africa, top 20 in the world. What do we need to do to build it and to get there? We identified 7 big things. We then spent the rest of the year in working groups with those same 200 people in working groups, crafting the details of that plan, looking at where are we now, where do we need to be, and how we're going to get there. When that plan all came together at the end of last year, we recognized to implement it was going to be the challenge because it's a massive plan. It involves trying to achieve the goal of training 10,000 coaches a year. Given that we've only trained 9,000 in the last 10 years, you can see the scale. But it can be done, and we've worked out how it can be done. And so the agency was set up to make sure that this plan is implemented. 7 big things, very, very, very quickly. Football philosophy, how do we want to play as South Africans? And that must be put into the coaching manuals and instruction from the youngest stages up. A talent development pipeline that starts at the least at under 13. We will eventually take it further back because talent needs to be identified sooner, and takes it right through until the national team entry point into global football. Number 3 is about changing how we do our competitions at every one of our local football associations. 4 is about this massive program of coach education. 5 is about making sure we have the right infrastructure and administration at every part of the football structures throughout the country. 6 is about using best technology, and 7 about using best sports science and medicine and research so that we never get behind the ball, we're always ahead of it.
Now, I know for you guys, the big focus group is these under-13s and under-14s who you earmarked to be a part of the Bafana squad and a part of the Banyana setup by 2022. But immediately, as in the next 3-4 years, what are going to be the benefits of the technical master plan and this rollout?
So yes, 2022 is where I think we can plan for success and really make sure we get there. But there are interim goals. We have Russia 2018, we have Olympics in 2016, and of course Olympics in 2020. So for that, there are two kind of groups. The first group, which is heading to 2022, the second group, which really is focused around Russia and will still be there in 2022. And that group is the under-17 team that must be selected in the beginning of next year. They'll be still not 17, they'll be 15 and 16 years old. We must choose that squad, the big squad, beginning of next year, and the under-20 squad, the 18 and 19-year-olds, so that we can get them to qualify for the African Championships in 2015 and get to the World Cup. If we can achieve that in 2015 with both the under-17s and the under-20s, we will then have a very good chance to have a great squad for the Brazil Olympics and then, of course, for Russia 2018. That is going to be a combination of really clever thinking and clever work and some luck. I think 2022, we must take the luck factor out of it. We must make sure that we succeed in every way.
Big, bold goals. We wish you and the Development Agency all the best, because I think this sentiment is shared by all South Africans. We want to see a winning team, a team that really can be the beacon of hope. Thank you very much. That's Dr. Robin Petersen, who is the CEO of SAFA's Development Agency. After